Thom and Eric show. We're back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to be back. Feels good. It's good to see my buddy Eric smiling over there on that side of the camera.
We're talking about panheads as usual.
So it's been a while, but we figured we'd do something different this time. Not too far out of the norm because we're still talking about panheads, but today we're going to talk about a whole bike. And that's right, we're going to talk about this 1958 Duo-Glide Panhead, absolute cream puff. I just finished restoring this bike for a family friend who grew up with this bike since it was purchased up in Anchorage, Alaska. And his next door neighbor had it. The first time he and his brother ever rode a motorcycle, it was this motorcycle. And he inherited it from the original purchaser when he passed away. This bike was brought to my shop a year ago in boxes, and now we're looking at it as a complete motorcycle. And a lot of you might not know, a lot of you might know, that 1958 is a really special year for panheads, and one of the things that makes it so special is it is the first year of the Duo-Glide Panhead, and that means we have a hydraulic, quote-unquote, glide front end, and we have a swing arm, sprung shock rear end. And this was the first ever Duo-Glide Panhead, 1958. This is an FLH foot shift model. They made, I don't know the exact number, but they made about 2,490 something of these things, and this is one of those. You know, there's a million things that make the 58 special, and so we're gonna go over all those things, but some of them are super obvious. Like, obviously this is the first year of the swing arm. This is the first year of this rear fender strut, the first year of this rear fender. You know, kind of a lot of firsts here. This is the first year of the smooth toolbox cover, the first year that they vertically mounted the toolbox, which is kind of cool. It was always horizontal before now, but they needed to kind of make room for this shock, so they didn't have room to mount it in the normal position, so they clocked it at 90 degrees. And let's see, what are some other firsts since we're looking at this bike? All right, well, this is the second year of Harley using the plastic badges. So in 1957, they came out with the first plastic badge. It looks just like this, the only difference being that it has a white box that Harley Davidson is written in. And it was the first year of the plastic fender tip, which you can also pan over there and take a look at. And so Harley was using plastic. They really only did these badges and fenders for 57 and 58 because they realized really quick that they didn't work that great and they broke a lot. So at least that's my theory on it, because they didn't really revisit any type of plastic stuff until everything that they make now. But it's also, since we're back here looking at these beautiful heads, the first year of what I affectionately call the big fin head. So this is the bigger fins, and the first year of also the stellite faced valves that you would have found inside of these heads. The first year of this single bolt front crash bar. Obviously the first year of the rear two-piece crash bars because of the shocks, and so this bike is not equipped with rear crash bars, but they would have mounted here and then they come back around and mount back there. Obviously the real obvious things are the first year of the shocks. We have on this side of the bike, what other firsts do we got? Let me see here. Let me see here.
It still says Hydroglide up here.
Yeah, Hydroglide, because it's still a Hydroglide front end.
Okay.
Oh, and so since we're up here talking about glides, this is the first year of the Duo-Glide badge, and one thing that makes the 58-59 Duo-Glide badge special is it doesn't have a little straight line here with a registered trademark. That's on all the later Duo-Glide badges, so this is correct for 58. This bike is incredibly correct. The original owner was very meticulous when he took everything apart, so he kept all the hardware and stuff like that. So this bike is equipped with CP bolts, which are, oh man, what is CP? Oh shoot. Of course I was gonna have a brain fart, but CP bolts started after the 1942 when Harley got the contract for all the war bikes. They could no longer produce the hardware in-house, or at least all of it. So Harley continued to produce on their screw cutting machines, all their specialty bolts, so like the rear stand bolts and all the bolts with the strange size heads and stuff like that, they still made in-house. So none of those hardware had markings. You can see here that this is marked 1038 CP, which would be correct for this bike. In 58, it's the only year that these fender struts were held on with a tapered slot screw, but because this has the luggage rack, you can't use those countersunk screws on here, so these have the CP bolts on top of that. But CP bolts started in 42, and they started with the alloy 1035, and so that number that's on them is actually the type of steel that they used. In this situation, it was a oh, what is that? A carbon steel. And so all bolts from 1942 to 1951 were marked with a 1035, and then they switched in 1952 to 1038. They still used 1035s to get rid of the stock for the next continuing years, but by 1948, you saw the first 1038s, and then by 1958, you're exclusively seeing 1038s on the bike. And in 1958, they also started using Federal Machine Works screws, which are referred to as the Circle F bolts. And let's see if we can find right here. Here's a perfect example of a Circle F bolt. So a lot of people think that these are not factory hardware because they don't say CP, but that is a Federal machine screw. And by 58, yep, there's another one right here.
That's the one I zoomed in on first. Now,
bingo.
That is not CP.
There is another one. Are they using? So they were mismatching too, because they were still using 1038s and they were using Circle F. So you'll find bikes that have Circle Fs in place, like the dash mounts are Circle Fs on some bikes, but then on some of them they're 1038s. So that's kind of a thing. Oh, while we're on the front of the bike, so with the upgrade of the Model 58 generator, they increased, this is the first year you're going to see these hex bolt, which are 5/16 oversized bolts. So this cam cover is now the first year of the oversized 5/16 holes for the new generator, which is the 58, which is their new two-brush generator they came out with. And they switched to this style voltage regulator in 58 as well, which allowed them to switch to a two-brush. And then it's the first year that the cases were decked on the back motor mount. So starting in 58, they decked the back motor mounts because here, if you look in here, you can see the bracket mounts on top of the flat surface back there. So that's the first year you're going to see that. Yeah, very cool. And then we have, in 58, obviously, we have the first year of this style mount for the oil filter, because it has to kind of dogleg around in a different way because of the swing arm frame. The swing arm oil bag, the first year of the swing arm oil bag, it looks the same as a regular horseshoe oil bag, but the thing that makes a swing arm oil bag unique is it has little tabs in the back here. This is probably the only vantage point you could see them, but because the fender is different, the battery flags are now mount to tabs on the back of the oil bag. So one of the ways you can tell the difference between a swing arm oil bag and a rigid oil bag are the tabs in the upper portion of the back of the bag. If it has the tabs, then it's a swing arm bag. If it doesn't, then it's a rigid bag. This is the first year of what they refer to as the Aristocrat front fender, which looks like this. This bike is not equipped with one. They didn't come on every bike, it was just an accessory. But this has the Aristocrat rear bumper, which came out later in 58. This has that, and 58 did not have a rear fender tip. So you can see that a 58 fender has this kind of stamping in it because there was no fender tip in 1958 on the rear. In 1959, they come out with the kind of pot metal, the chromed pot metal one with kind of like the V in the center that everybody is probably really familiar with. Standard Guide 55 light. This bike has been equipped with turn signals, so it has the Guide DH49s on the rear, and then it has the Guide, what are these, PH? What do they call these guys? I can never remember. Well, front and left, front guides, which are, these are directional. So you know, this is a left, that's a right. These are fisheyes, and the reason why they use this lens is because you can see it from the side. So front markers on 58s would have always been white, and rear turn signals would have always been red. So these are absolutely correct, and these lenses are for turn signals because you can the light shoots through there and illuminates sideways, and that's why that's like that. What else do we got? What else fun facts do we got? This one's obviously equipped with the buddy seat, which is a total nightmare for midgets like me. It's got the Buco accessory windshield, which is kind of cool. Buco had their own little, you know, rear view mirrors that kind of mount to this little crossbar. They're a total nightmare because all they do is vibrate and shake. You can't see a damn thing.
They look like they telescope too.
Yeah, they do. Well, they'll rock this way. This, you get very little movement here, but you just kind of bend these arms and stuff like that. This has turn signals, so we have our indicator lights up here that tell you. So when we're turning left, you can see we're blinking over there. When we're turning right, you can see we're blinking over here. And the cigarette lighter also works. That's an accessory.
I'm gonna need that later.
Yeah, we got a little trumpet horn. Why don't we not do that? Don't really want to start an electrical fire. Who knows?
Guess I won't be using that one later.
Yeah. What else am I missing? This has the accessory spark plug holder, which of course I've put in the wrong spot, but I will be moving that. This actually should mount right down here under the shock, but
why'd you do that?
I put it up here because I was being lazy. What's the other fun things that I'm missing? Oh, 58 was the first year Harley Davidson offered white wall tires. So if you ever see a white wall on any Harley before 58, it's not correct. So 58 was the first year they started offering white wall tires.
These are not white wall tires.
These are not white walls. It was just an option. It did not come on every bike.
They would look good on this bike with that big old seat.
57 was the last year they did the generator cover. So you notice that this bike with that 58 generator does not have a chrome or stainless cover out here.
So ugly.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly.
So this is when hogs started to get big and heavy and not as cool looking? Is that what you're trying to say? No,
that's not what I'm trying to say, but you know, there's some truth in that statement.
Is this gold? Like,
sure.
is this like, there's got to be some history on the first use of decorative gold?
It's just plastic, you know?
I don't know, but like...
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. It's the first year they used this straight Y pipe. This has you know, true dual exhaust pipes, so
that means one and then.
Well, actually, this isn't the Y pipe, but if you have the single pipe, the Y pipe looks like this. It's straight back, and then it's got the little dog leg here for this one. This one has the true duals, which is pretty cool. I'm trying to think what
when did that come out? When was the first year of true dual?
First year of true duals, I want to say, was 54. Was the first year you started to see true dual pipes, and it was never a standard option. It was always a upgrade that you would want. And there's got to be something I'm missing as I pour over this beautiful machine here. Oh, first year of the hydraulic brake. This is a more unique brake. This is the earlier. There's 3 different versions of the hydraulic drum brake, and this is the earliest version. And the way that you can tell the earliest version from other versions, if Eric would be so kind as to come over here,
I was showing the master cylinder,
is the brake backing plate has these like 2 little kind of crescent moon cutouts in it. That's the early 58 to 62 backing plate. And yeah, so first year of the hydraulic line, obviously. And what other firsts do we got in 58 on this side of the bike that I missed? Nothing, I don't think. So this bike, one of the glaring things that are wrong about this motorcycle is the paint color. This 58 was the first year they started offering the beautiful Calypso red. So this bike would look really good in Calypso red. The special order options were all of the colors that they offered, but without the white panel. This bike should have a white panel that comes here unless you ordered it without it. This bike was repainted sometime in the 90s, I think, before the guy took it apart. He took it apart in 1994, and so it's been hibernating for 30 years. And the paint looked pretty decent, so the owner wanted to just keep it. And even though I do not have a problem with the paint color, it would be really nice if the bike had the correct color. There were Sabre Gray, Calypso Red, Black, and I think white, and then silver would have been police. I don't know. Now I'm talking out of my butt. But I know Calypso red, Saber gray, and black were 3 of the 4 standard color options. And maybe Eric will edit in a picture of what the stock paint scheme looked like in 58, because it's really cool. 57 was the same, because 57 and 58 are the only 2 years that have this tank badge. So they have the same tank panel.
You gonna fire this thing up?
Oh man, I haven't fired it up in weeks. It's probably gonna kick my butt, but we can try. You wanna see if she'll go?
Let's do it.
All right. Well, this is probably where I get embarrassed on the internet. Here, make sure that's not gonna tip down. So kick that.
Take it out?
Yeah. No, right there. Right there. It's just kind of lean in a weird way. All right. Let's see. This thing floods. If you're wondering why I'm not choking it, it's because this bike floods real easy. So I guess we'll try a little bit of choke. All right, let's see.
What is it, like 40 degrees out here?
It's definitely not warm.
Oh, the sun's coming out. This is northwest fall. Oh!
Oh, we've got
something. Oh, it's right there.
Oh, come on, baby girl. Oh, she wants to go so bad.
Everyone loves the real videos when it takes forever to start the hog. Because all those 2-kick videos are fake. Or they're lucky. Oh, come on now.
Now she's just being a jerk. Come on, baby!
Right there. Keep kicking. You said you've been working out more, so making sure you're getting your workout in.
Oh. All right, hang on.
Clearing it out?
Clearing it out.
Oh, right there.
She's cold-blooded, man.
Oh! I can't stop now, dude. Relentless. There we go. Oh! What is happening?
What is happening?
Is gas going? What? Too much gas. That's it. Thom Jones on the 58.